Welcome to the Carriker Chronicles, the People Show. Checking the Pulse of Husker Nation, brought to you by XCancer. Check them out at xcancer.com. Here are my final thoughts, final breakdown after rewatching the Nebraska spring game from Saturday. Yes, it's hard to learn things, but there are some things you can always learn if you just pay a little bit of attention. Going position by position. At the quarterback position, it appears to me the top three quarterbacks are Casey Thompson, Logan Smothers, Chubba Purdy. Now, I don't know who's 2 and 3. Logan was the second quarterback to appear in the spring game. Casey appears to be the clear-cut starter. He didn't play a ton. Obviously, it felt like an NFL preseason game when it came to Casey. So either they feel really, really good about him or they just really, really wanted to protect him. But he has the green jersey on. It's hard to tell at this point in time. But I love his leadership ability. That dude is a leader. Love that about him. Logan Smothers, I put this out on social media. I talked about it in my previous show. I just love this guy. First guy to commit in his recruiting class. He's never wavered. All these new faces, all this new competition, all these new coaches, a new offense that maybe doesn't fit his skill set 100%, yet he's still here battling it out, embracing the competition. I will say this, no matter where he does fall on the depth chart, okay, going into fall, I do think we need to have a package for him, an option package for him, because he's got a unique skill set. He's just faster than everybody else at that quarterback position. You put in a simple option package that doesn't take a lot of time for your offense to learn. Let him do what he does, but the option takes a lot of time for the defense to have to work on to try to stop and defend. So it makes the defense's life harder. It gives your offense another wrinkle, and you're using an athlete's skill set. And now if you start in force, obviously you don't have to worry about it, but we'll see what happens. Casey appears to be the starter right now. Chubba Purdy missed a lot of time in the spring. Came in and probably, after watching the game again, probably looked the best of all the quarterbacks on Saturday. Made some nice throws, looked good, especially where he'd missed a bunch of times. So he's a guy to keep your eye on. There are other guys in that room, obviously. I still love Heinrich Harburg, big fan of Matt Masker, so you never know, but those appear to be the top three guys at the running back position. The top two guys, seem to me, easy for me to say, seem to be Rahmir Johnson and Anthony Grant. Now, Rahmir, as I mentioned after the game on Saturday, is probably our best all-around back, but Anthony Grant kind of has that, and so does Rahmir, but Anthony has it like to an elite level. Game-breaking ability, and you saw it. Stop, plant, cutting a dime, gone 60 yards. Okay, so I don't know who's going to start. Rahmir's a little more well-rounded, but that game-breaking ability is rare and elite and hard to find. So I might give the edge to Anthony come the first game of the season, but we'll see. But we do know that Mark Whipple likes to rotate 3 running backs. He's flat out said that. It appears that they want the third running back to be, if he's not already, Jacques Gient. And he brings a unique skill set that the other 2 guys don't bring that I already mentioned. So he would be a good number 3 if he can earn that spot. Don't forget about guys like Gabe Ervin. First ever running back in the history of Nebraska football to start his first game as a true freshman. Got hurt, got banged up, so he'll be back in the fold in the fall. Also, I saw Marquis Stepp, obviously, in the game on Saturday, but I can't help but wonder what's happened to him. Maybe he can get back into that fold a little bit. When you look at the pass catchers, and I'm going to lump wide receivers and tight ends all together in this group. When you look at the pass catchers from Saturday, that game, the quarterbacks were running for their lives. The pass rush was getting home a lot. There weren't a whole lot of impressive balls completed because of it. There were a couple touchdown passes, but it was really hard to learn anything about the wide receivers and tight ends, the pass catchers on Saturday, just the way that game played out. Here was my biggest takeaway from the wide receiver position specifically, and it was in an interview that Casey Thompson gave to the Big Ten Network late in the game. When asked who his favorite receiver was to throw the ball to, without hesitation, he unequivocally said Trey Palmer. I learned more from that answer than I did the rest of the game when it came to the wide receivers. And as far as tight ends, Travis Vokalek, the projected starter, and Thomas Fidone, who's probably going to be in the mix at that number 2 tight end spot, were both out. So hopefully they will be back for the fall. Also, Thomas Fidone, surprisingly, is supposed to be ready for summer conditioning, which is great news. When you look at the offensive line, here's my simple takeaway. We need Teddy Prohaska and Turner Corcoran, and I know Turner struggled at times last year in pass protection, but we need them to get healthier. We're going to need all 5 or 6 quarterbacks that played in the spring game on Saturday to be ready to go in the fall. Simply because we had a hard time protecting the quarterbacks. We really did. The first 5 offensive linemen that started the game were left tackle Brant Banks, left guard Nardine Newilly, center Trent Hickson. I love his leadership. He was pulling guys aside. He even grabbed the whiteboard at one time. He impressed me with some things I saw on Saturday. Him trying to be a leader. Right guard Brock Bando, right tackle Bryce Benhart. Ezra Miller played sometimes at left tackle. There were several other combinations that were used. including Oklahoma State transfer Hunter Anthony, Northern Colorado transfer Kevin Williams, and several other guys saw action throughout the game on Saturday, as you'd expect. But we really, the run blocking actually looked pretty good to me. The pass protection, they looked overwhelmed. I don't know how else to put it. They just looked flat out overwhelmed. Okay, and they've got to get better in the pass protection department. Now, if you want me to break down the pass protection from a defensive standpoint, if you want me to break it down from a defensive perspective, do me a favor. Give this video a like. All right, like it on Facebook, like it on Twitter, like it on YouTube. And the quicker I get responses, the sooner I'll do that video. Like if I get a lot of quick responses, I'll go ahead and I'll do that defensive breakdown tomorrow, and I'll put it out tomorrow. Also, leave a comment, because I'm curious. Because the offense didn't look great on Saturday. They had looked much better throughout the rest of the spring, but they didn't look great Saturday. My question to you, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below, was it due to the two-hand touch nature of the first half of the scrimmage especially, and the very basic offense they were running, which you'd expect in a spring game? Or was it more kind of, well, this looks like more of the same that we've seen the past few years? Which one was it to you? Let me know your opinion and what you thought it was when it came to the offense on Saturday, because the defense definitely outplayed the offense throughout the most of the scrimmage on Saturday. Until next time, Husker Nation, go big red nose. Remember, throw the bug. This show is brought to you by XCancer. Join the fight at XCancerStore.com and support your loved ones, your neighbors, and cancer fighters all over the world and help them gain access to revolutionary treatments. XCancerStore.com has a wide variety of t-shirts and merchandise supporting a wide variety of cancer battles so you can show off the colors that matter. Proceeds from each purchase not only help those at home, but also cancer fighters in Tanzania, Africa. Check them out at XCancerStore.com.